Hey, you are coming to tomorrow's party, right? No, sorry bro. I would prefer to spend some time alone rather than partying with so many strangers. Oh come on, what's wrong with you? If you are a person with introvert kind of personality, then probably you have to hear these words shy, unsocial many times in your life. According to Susan Cain, the author of the book Quiet, now the condition of the introvert people in our society is similar to the condition of females in the early 19th century. They are undervalued for a trait that goes to the core of who they are. The most recent study actually says that 50% of the population is of introvert personality trait. But because so many introverts are told from the time they are very little children that they should be acting more like extroverts, and so they learn how to do it. But the fact remains inside, that's who they are, and in many ways because of that, they are unable to produce the best of their hearts and brains. Carl Jung, the psychologist who first popularized these terms in the 1920s, even he said there is no such thing as a pure introvert or pure extrovert. Such a man would be in a lunatic asylum if he existed at all. Actually, according to the situation, we sometimes act like an introvert and other times like an extrovert. So those who in most of the situations act like an introvert, we can put them into introvert category. According to the author, the best way to decide whether you are an introvert or an extrovert is to ask yourself this question: where do I get my energy? If you get your energy restored by spending some time alone, then you are an introvert type of person. But if you get energized by talking to others and enjoying with them, then you are an extrovert type of person. The core message in this book is that we should not consider being an introvert type of person as a weakness. Because as there are some benefits of being an extrovert type of person, similarly, there are also benefits of being an introvert type of person. It's just that their strengths are different. Extroverts tend to be born with outgoing personality. That is, number 1, they can make friends easily. Number 2, they can speak confidently in front of large audience. Number 3, they can think fast about something. Similarly, introverts have their own kind of strengths. That are, number 1, introverts can hold their focus for a long time at one thing. For example, one of the most famous introvert personality person, Sir Albert Einstein, once said, "It's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." Number 2, introverts tend to be more creative. For example, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter, Steve Wozniak, who first invented the Apple computer, and all of our favorite music composer, Sir A.R. Rahman, is also one of them. Number 3, introverts have very few relationships, but those relationships used to be more deep and meaningful. I believe till now you have realized that if you are an introvert type of person, then this video is going to be one of the most important video in your life. And if you are an extrovert type of person, then also this video is going to be really helpful to you, because as half of us are introvert type of person, so maybe your close friend or a colleague in your office, or maybe your life partner is an introvert type of person. So to bring the best out of them, this video will help you a lot. So let's see some of the best smart ideas from this book. Mark Zuckerberg, who is the CEO of Facebook, and Sheryl Sandberg, who is the CEO of Facebook, pretty much run Facebook together. Mark Zuckerberg is a famous introvert, and he explicitly hired Sheryl Sandberg because he knew that he likes to kind of go deep focus on strategy, and he needed someone who could balance him out and who likes to focus among other things more on the people side of the equation. And so the two of them have their separate spheres, but they come together, they respect each other, and it's really effective for them. So the author believes that introvert and extrovert people are like yin and yang. If they come together and work with respect for each other, then they can achieve great things. So smart idea number 1, introverts and extroverts are like yin and yang. We tend to think that introversion and shyness are the same thing, but they are really not. Shyness means when someone imagines that other people will laugh at him or think him stupid, and that's why they hold themselves back. But introversion means when you naturally like to be in a peaceful environment. For example, suppose there is a meeting going on, so everyone is throwing out their opinions one after the another. This kind of stimulating environment makes introvert persons uncomfortable, because in such environment they cannot think with their full capability. Extroverts can think while they are talking, but introverts need to be quiet for some time to think properly. Now suppose a 5-minute break is given and everyone is instructed not to talk with each other but to write down their own opinion in a paper in front of them. So in this 5 minutes, when everyone will be quiet, then the introvert person will also be able to think properly and write down his opinions on the paper. Now if someone is a shy person, then he will not tell everyone what he has written on the paper because he will fear that everyone may laugh at him. But an introvert person will tell everyone what he has written on the paper. That is the difference between shyness and introversion. So smart idea number 2, introversion and shyness are two different things. One fascinating study by the psychologist Russell Gain was he gave math problems to groups of introverts and extroverts with varying levels of background noise playing. And while the people were doing the math problems, he found that the introverts did better when the noise levels were lower and the extroverts did better when the noise levels were higher. This research tells us that we each need very different kinds of environments to function optimally. Extroverts perform well when there are lots of stimuli present in their environment, but introverts perform better when there is less stimuli present in the environment. But in today's world, school, office, everywhere, the environment tend to support the extroverts more and more. This is hindering the introverts to bring the best out of them. But some of the world's best companies keep this thing well in their mind while designing their workplace. 3M Corporation CEO William McKnight once said, "Hire good people and leave them alone." And he exactly did that also. In his company, he gave his employees 15% free time to work on the projects as per their wish. Even today, at Google, engineers are allowed to work on any side project as per their wish for 20% of their time. And if you ever get a chance to visit Google's headquarters in the New York, you can see their workplace is designed in two different styles for the extrovert and introvert type of person. The employees can work as per their favorable environment. So smart idea number 3, different people do their best in different working environment. One of the most famous French designers, Philippe Starck, used to remain completely silent without talking to anyone about anything from mid-June to the mid-September. He used to complete his whole year's work sitting in front of a desk from 7 am to 7 pm. In this time, neither he read any magazine, nor he watched any movie or joined to any party. Isolating himself completely from the mainstream thinking, he used to bring out the pure creativity from inside him. And that's how he was able to create so many world-class designs that made him famous worldwide. Neuroscientist George Burns found from his research that when we face social rejection, then a tiny little part of our brain called amygdala gets very activated. And as a result of that, we start to feel a tremendous mental pain. In terms of neuroscience, it is called the pain of independence. And to avoid that mental pain, when we are around a group, we start to mimic each other's behaviors so that we don't have to face any kind of social rejection. So thinking and behavior of people around us tends to influence our thinking and behavior. Somehow instinctively, Philippe Starck knew about this pain of independence, and that's why whenever he had to bring out pure creativity from inside him, he went into solitude for a long time. If you look at the major religions of the world, then you can notice that they talk about people find something really wonderful inside them when they leave their daily life and went into a jungle or a mountain and lived there for a long time. And that is one of the greatest strengths of introverts people, because they love solitude naturally. So smart idea number 4, solitude fuels creativity. Many people think that introverts have none of the qualities required to be a leader. So introverts cannot be a good leader. But according to the researcher Adam Grant from Wharton School, exactly the opposite is true. According to his research, in only some cases the extroverts do better when they are managing people who are needing a lot of rousing, inspiration, charisma and that kind of thing to be getting them going. But the introverted leaders did better when they were managing proactive employees. So employees who were kind of full of ideas and ready to go and wanting to implement what they had done, the introverted leaders did better because they were more likely to let other people run with their ideas, whereas extroverts can fall into the trap of getting so excited about their own stuff. Some of the most transformative leaders of the 20th century ascended to their leadership positions almost in spite of who they were. For example, Eleanor Roosevelt, Gandhi, and Rosa Parks, all of these people described themselves as being quiet and soft spoken and even shy. And all of them took the spotlight even though every bone in their bodies was telling them not to. And that turned out to have a special power all of its own. Because people could feel that they were there not because they enjoyed being looked at and not because they enjoy controlling other people. They were there because they had no choice. And that turns out to have a true authenticity that people connect to. Through that engagement, they come up through the leadership ranks and not through something that's kind of a more obvious leadership skill. The author Susan Cain herself is an introvert person. But after finishing writing his book Quiet, she had to give speech in different places in front of large group of audiences. She was not at all comfortable in giving speech in front of so many people. But as she had no other choice, so she joined many public speaking courses and finally she learned that skill. Even her TED Talk was praised by Bill Gates himself as one of the best TED Talk he had ever watched. So smart idea number 5, introverts can also be a great leader. So now if I sum up this whole video, we have learned these things from today's video. If you want, you can pause the video and take a screenshot. If you are an introvert person, then you must read this book Quiet by Susan Cain at least once in your life. You can buy this book from the link given below in the description. At last, a little request to you. If you have found this video useful, then please share it with your friends and family, because in this way, you can also help to change someone's life. Thanks for watching. More wisdom, more solution, better life.